Ms. Holshue, you claim your mother had an affair with the defendant's father, and today you're in court to prove that he is your biological father. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am, it is.
Ms. Howard, you and your sisters say Ms. Holshue is a delusional troublemaker whose promiscuous mother destroyed your family and ruined your home. You say Ms. Holshue is dragging your father's name through the mud, and there is absolutely no way she is related to you. Is that correct?
That is correct, Your Honor.
So, Ms. Holshue, why do you believe you're related to the Howards?
Because my mother and Mr. Howard both told me that he was my father, and also family members on his side of the family have also said that I'm his daughter. And also I'm in the obituary as his daughter.
You are?
Yes, I am, ma'am.
That was a big mistake that her name was put into the obituary. Our father's sister did that.
No.
And did not tell any of us about it. Our father didn't even mention her.
Nope.
That's
so why would
ma'am.
she be put in the obituary if no one ever mentioned her or knew about her?
Our father's sister and her mother were best friends, and our aunt is the one that told her that she possibly might be related to us.
That's not true, Your Honor.
That is true.
No, it's not. I had a relationship with Mr. Howard.
No.
No.
Through the years after I found out that he was my father. And the only reason I'm even wanting to know that he is my father is because I've recently learned that I have terminal cancer, and I'd like to have family history, and I also, which I know they don't want to, but I would also like to have some sort of information from them about him.
When did you first find out?
Whenever I was about 12 or 13.
How did you find out?
Because my stepdad was drunk, and he was fighting with my mother, and he said, well, who do you think your father is? And so after that, my mother told me, and she took me and introduced me to DL, and we had a relationship from then on.
What would you like to add?
Your Honor, first and foremost, I just want to say, I mean, I don't get me wrong, I feel for her that she has cancer, but there's kids out there that have been adopted that have cancer, that have no idea about anything of their family history. I get it, the doctors ask family history, but that's not going to cure her because she knows
Nobody
that.
said it was going to cure me.
I'm talking.
So?
I'm talking.
But what she's saying is, if she is going to leave this world, there are unanswered questions in her mind and in her life.
That's why we're here.
That she'd like to get answers to.
That's why we're here today, Your Honor.
Fair.
Thank you.
And, you know,
thank you.
And I mean, you know, to the Howard sisters, growing up, did you ever hear about Miss Holshue?
Never heard her.
Did anyone ever mention her?
Never.
Yes. One time when I was 19 years old, my dad, he was in from California. My parents were already divorced. We were in from California. He had us all meet him out at an old country bar. We showed up, and her mother was there. And I'm talking,
You're saying that person?
Yes.
Okay.
They were there. And after about a half hour, we had some drinks and stuff. And my dad
I don't even remember that. And she's lying, and I'm not a that. If anybody's a that, look over there.
Whatever the case may be. Whatever the case may be. Whatever the case may be.
You know, what's the big deal if he is my father? So what? I'm talking
I can care less if
what's
he is.
the big deal? He's not my father. Is it?
All right, ladies, one at a time.
It's not hurting you if he is my father.
Wait, one at a time, because I want to hear this story. All of a sudden, you are brought into contact with Miss Holshue. Yes. How old were you all when this meeting happened?
I was 19 at the time.
So you remember this day?
Oh, clearly, like it was yesterday. They were sitting in a booth with my dad across from her and her mother. I was standing at the end, and he said, I just brought you guys here to let you know that she's your sister. And that was the one and only time that my dad ever mentioned her till the day he died.
He had never mentioned it to any of the rest of us.
So your dad said it to you?
Yes.
Your Honor, I lived with
wait a minute. If he told you, why don't you believe it?
I don't want to speak ill, but I mean, my dad he's dead. Her mother has passed away. It's obvious my dad messed around on my mom. It wasn't just her mother.
Exactly.
It was never just her mother.
I agree with that one.
And I have heard many things saying the same thing about her mother.
Okay, so what you're saying is he said that, but you felt like you had information that suggested her mother also
Yes.
slept around frequently, we'll
Yes.
say that respectfully. And so it was your conclusion that even though my dad said this, it doesn't mean it's necessarily true.
That is absolutely correct.
When I was 17, I had moved to California to live with my father. I flew out with her younger sister. I lived there for quite a while, and her name was never, ever mentioned to me. From her mother, from my father, no one.
And just to be clear, your mother and father were married.
Yes.
Yes.
And you share the same mother and father.
Yes.
Correct.
All 5 of us.
Can I also say, when I was in California living with my father, we had packed up our things and moved out because my father had gone to at the bar where her mother was working and caught her cheating on him. That gave me
No topic.
the thought that obviously her mother probably has no idea who any of her children belong to.
Really? It's not my fault you guys don't want to know me. It's not my fault that your dad had sex with my mother and I'm a product of that.
And it's not our fault that they both did it either.
If you want more episodes of Paternity Court, make sure to subscribe and click on the notification bell. Miss Holshue,
Yes.
your mother never told you there were any other possibilities?
Let me tell you this story. My mother married the person I thought was my biological dad when she was 14. Her and Mr. Howard were childhood sweethearts. Okay, my mother didn't have me until she was 20 days before she turned 21. And she was married to the same man all that time.
So what you're saying is your mom married very young,
Yes,
but she and Mr. Howard, the deceased, their father,
yes.
they were still in a relationship because they were childhood sweethearts.
Lies.
They were in and out of a relationship
No, they
No.
weren't.
as
No,
long
they
as
weren't.
I could.
No, they weren't.
No, they were
As long
not.
as I knew.
Our father was with us every weekend. Every weekend.
She's just coming in like a big old bulldozer. My maintenance man in my building was my father's childhood friend. He and I had a chat recently, and we chatted for quite some time. I do know that she thinks that she's our sister, so I asked him, and he said no. My mother was the only woman that my dad, at that time, early in.
So you never heard any rumors about your father cheating?
When we got older.
Right.
When we were
As
older.
teenagers.
Right.
As teenagers.
Only as teenagers.
When you say she's just trying to insert herself into our family,
Yes.
why? What's her motive? You obviously
Exactly.
don't want her there.
Our sister is very good friends with her, and she wants her to be her sister. And we told her to prove it if she's our sister, and she kept denying, refusing to do a DNA test.
Well, that's why we're here today, and actually, Kelly, your sister, is here as
Yes.
well. Ron, can you please escort their sister Kelly into the courtroom?
Yes, ma'am. Excuse me. I'm gonna come in and sit up in the witness stand.
Hello, Ms. Howard. Thank you so much for joining us today. Ms. Holshue contends that she shares a father with you and your sisters?
Yes,
And your sisters say, oh, no, she doesn't.
that's their opinion.
What is your opinion?
I believe that she is.
You do. Tell
Yes,
the
I
court
do.
why.
Because my father told me that she was.
She just needs a family, Your Honor, because her whole family,
She just
she's
needs-
shut out. They've shut her
No,
out
I've
because
shut
she's
them
such a
out,
devil.
Your Honor.
Tell me about that moment when you were informed or your father told you.
Well, we were out one day, and I was about 19, and he said that he wanted me to meet one of his girlfriends. Okay, I had met several of them before.
Thought you said you're 17.
No big deal. So we go to Lynn's mother's. He introduces me to her as my sister. So we just went about our way after that, and I just took it as for what it was and just.
You never
left to
questioned
my-
it?
No. Our dad never lied to us.
You know, your sisters actually admit that your dad said to them, this is your sister, but
Yes.
they don't believe it because they felt like Miss Holshue's mother had been sleeping around, had a reputation.
Yes.
And
As
so they
did
didn't
he.
believe it.
As did he.
Oh,
That's
we do.
why
Our,
I don't believe
our
it.
dad
We
is
don't
all of our
deny
hero.
that our father slept around.
He is our hero to this day. And I'm not going to bash him, but yes, he loved women. And that's just the way it was. Some men hunt, some men don't.
Okay, well said. Now, your sisters seem to think that Miss Holshue's just trying to stir the pot. She's trying to get into your family. You
Your
two
Honor.
are best friends, and
No,
you all
we're friends. We're
want
not
to be
best friends.
sisters, and this is their theory.
Your
Of
Honor.
course, they have all kinds of theories. That's
Kelly,
their
you've been
opinion.
blacklisted on the family since you've been 14 years old. That's
And what
why
are
you
you
need her
today?
in your life.
What are you two today?
We're everything.
Oh, I see that.
That's right.
I don't even speak to these two, number one.
I think
No, we don't
For
speak
saying,
to you.
okay. They don't speak to me.
So, do you think your acceptance of Miss Holshue affected your relationship with your sisters negatively? Do they
If so,
them
that's them. I don't
ostracize
know.
you because you
I
accepted
have no
them?
idea.
That's up to her what she does.
I still speak with Kelly on a daily basis, as I do with my other sisters.
Right.
I just am tired of hearing about this.
Your Honor, Mr. Howard invited me to a Howard family reunion.
Lies.
That is a
Lies.
total lie.
It was at
Lies.
Guilford Lake.
That is a total
in
lie.
a
Because you know where it was
pavilion.
doesn't mean you were
There was
invited.
never
There
a
was
family
never a
reunion
reunion
at
at
Just
Guilford
because
Lake.
you
It was not at
Yeah.
Guilford Lake. It was
Yeah.
at the
Pavilion
It
at
was
Guilford
outside
Lake.
of Guilford Lake.
How does she know where the reunion is if she wasn't invited or someone didn't
Thank
tell
you.
her?
And I wasn't in town.
Your Honor,
Thank
I
you.
have been to every single family reunion.
And I have been
she
to-
has never been.
Is it held at that location?
I'm sure that she has this information because she's gotten it from my other sister.
I was.
Kelly
she
was not
in
even in
when
town.
that
Kelly
happened.
was
I
not
didn't
at-
know that.
She was never at a
She's told
family
you that
reunion.
now.
Never been to a family.
My
The
dad
only
would
thing
have
she-
Wait a
never
minute,
have done
Miss
that and
Holshue,
not
did
that.
you
Think
actually
was.
go to the family reunion?
Yes, Your Honor, I
Lies.
did. My
That is a
first
lie.
husband.
Hold on.
Yes, Your Honor, my first husband and I went there. We walked into the pavilion and sat down with
Lies.
DL and started talking to him, and I don't remember which women it was, but chased me out, calling me all these nasty names.
I've
The only time I saw her
I went to her
say.
once in my life.
They wanted to beat me up.
She's lying.
I heard this story.
If we
and I've
wanted
asked-
to beat you up, we would have done it.
and I asked questions.
You did it because your dad stopped
would
you.
have done
Listen. I know one thing. You all might not be sisters, but you're acting like it. In this courtroom today. You are. You are.
Your Honor, the first time I laid eyes on this lady was when she was sitting in the front row of my father's funeral.
Yep.
I was not.
She
in the front row.
bulldozed
Yep.
in. Nobody asked her to come.
I'm
We
his
didn't even
daughter.
know she
When you
We
say
did
she
not.
bulldozed in,
Yeah,
what,
I
what, do
doubt
you, what do you
it.
mean?
We'll
What did
find
she
out.
push her way
in the front
through?
row, like she was supposed to be there or something.
Right in the
We had
middle.
no idea
I
who
don't
she even
remember it,
was.
Your Honor, I hope that it's true that he is my father, but if he's not,
That'd be happy days.
they both lied to me. Him and my mother
I don't
lied
think
to
that
Did they
lied
teach
to
you well?
They don't know. They don't
I
know.
just-
They don't do DNA with their eyeballs.
Do you all want to get these results?
Yes,
Or
yes,
yes.
You all want to sit down?
Yes.
Finally.
You'd like to stand with Miss Holshue?
Yes. please.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
I'm a pretender.
Ron, I'm ready for the envelope. Kelly, Diana, Chrisanne, and Ray Howard, you share the same father. And so, because there wasn't a blood card available to test the DNA of the deceased David Howard, we performed a siblingship test in order to determine if Misty Lynn Holshue is the sister of Diana Howard. These results were prepared by DNA Diagnostics, and they read as follows. In the case of Holshue versus Howard, it has been determined by this court that the probability of half siblingship between Diana Howard and Misty Lynn Holshue is 98.1%.
Sorry.
I'm glad she knows Your Honor, but it doesn't make a difference.
I'm
to
glad
us.
she knows too.
You know, it's very sad from where I sit to see this venom.
I have no
Things,
problem
deep
with them.
things.
It's them. They hate me. I have no problem whatsoever with them women.
Listen,
Nobody ever.
listen.
I've never spoken to her.
The
so she can't
DNA,
say that.
listen, the DNA has spoken. You are, in fact, half siblings. And I'm about putting families back together. That's what we do in this courtroom. But there are instances where I look at the people before me and I realize maybe there's just too much water under the bridge right now.
Definitely.
You all stood over there today and acted like some bad remake of Mean Girls. I'm not kidding. I mean, just mean, just vicious. All this puffed up nonsense you all are doing in here, I don't believe a minute of it. Somewhere along the way, you all lost your footing at being sisters. You know, my grandmother used to have a saying where she'd say, be careful how you treat folks, because they may be the one to give you your last cup of water. You never know in this life, when everyone else is gone, who will be there. More often than not, it's your sibling. Ms. White, you say you have no doubt when it comes to who your 4-month-old child Major's biological father is, even though you were intimate with the neighborhood ice cream man during the window of conception. You are seeking a DNA test as well as $1,846.54 in child care expenses, correct?
Correct.
Mr. Flowers, you say you have no reason to believe you are the child in question's father, and in fact say Ms. White will pin this child on anyone that has some money to give her. Am I correct?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Ms. White, why do you claim Mr. Flowers owes you $1,846.54 for child care expenses?
Well, because basically I bought diapers, stroller, crib, detergent, toys. I bought everything for my son that he needs as an infant. He hasn't bought anything. The things he did buy, he took back to the store.
What do you mean?
He bought him 2 outfits and he returned them pretty much.
Mr. Flowers, you took the outfits back?
Yes, ma'am. He couldn't fit them, and he was probably would have took about 3 months for him to be able to fit the clothes.
Well, you know we buy the baby stuff a little bit big so they have room to grow.
Right.
Not 4 or 5 months too big.
Oh, well,
the summer was around the corner.
Listen, did you take the clothes back because they couldn't fit them, or
No.
did you take the clothes back because you didn't
Because
believe
he
it was
wanted
your child?
cigarettes, he didn't have no money, and beer,
You
whatever.
took the baby's clothes back for cigarettes?
Pretty much.
No.
All right.
He's
Ms.
fine.
White, you say Mr. Flowers is the father.
Yes,
You have no doubt
no doubt.
in your mind.
Somewhat doubt, but with me and Mr. Flowers,
Somewhat doubt. Tell me why you believe he is.
because me and Mr. Flowers, that's all we did was have sex. You know, that was our relationship, was based on sex. Unprotected sex at that. So,
And you
No.
were having sex with Mr. Flowers during the window of conception,
yes.
and you weren't using protection.
No, ma'am.
Mr. Flowers, you say you have doubt.
Yes, ma'am.
And why is that?
I ain't putting no leash and collar on nobody's neck. We was doing what we do, but at the same time, if she wanted to go out and kick it or whatever it is she wanted to do, she was allowed to do it. Right?
So it was a
Because-
sexual relationship with no expectation of commitment.
Pretty much.
He had other females that he was with, so of course this wasn't going to bother him.
Did you ever tell him you were pregnant?
Yes, ma'am. I actually inboxed him the pregnancy test.
And your response was?
Nothing.
I don't know.
He never responded.
I don't know.
And so all the way through your pregnancy, Mr. Flowers wasn't there? No doctor's appointment?
No doctor's appointment.
When Major
nothing.
was born?
He came around like in February. I let him come back because I wanted him to see his son.
So the baby was born.
Right.
So the bottom line is when you came back and you saw the baby, did you believe Major was your child?
Yes and no, for the simple fact, I done seen it to where cat like, all right, that's my baby.
Yeah, he seen-
And then
when he
3,
seen
4
them
years
text
later, you go
messages.
have a test done, and it ain't your baby.
That does in fact happen, Mr. Flowers.
Right.
Now, how did you find out about this other guy, Mr. Flowers?
Me and Miss White, we was kicking it, and I had spent the night over there. She filed asleep, text message come through, and man, I don't even know where to begin that, Judge. It get real
And
explicit
that's only
and
because he
everything,
wasn't
man.
around. He wasn't around.
I never said nothing to her neither, because I ain't the argumentative, fighting type of guy. I find out what it is, keep my grass cut now.
When you saw that text, that only validated your concerns and the questions you had about the paternity.
Yes, ma'am. It kicked me right in my head. I had already had doubt, but once I seen them text messages, it was on and popping from there. I already knew the deal.
Yeah, he ran with
So
that.
you think this other guy
ran
is
with
Major's father?
Yeah, could be.
And that other guy, Mr. Miles is his name, is here today. Jerome, I'd like to hear from
As it
Mr.
stands
Miles.
from me, that's my maybe baby.
Mr. Miles, thank you for joining us today.
No problem.
Ms. White has admitted that she had a sexual encounter with you, and Mr. Flowers believes you are the baby's father. Were you, in fact, in a sexual relationship with Ms. White?
Yes.
Was it ongoing? Was this just a one-night thing?
Actually, we only did it like 4 times.
So you just went out about 4 times. So
That's
this
it.
wasn't a relationship. No. It wasn't a committed relationship.
No.
Did you use protection?
I used protection at 3 times, but the last time I didn't.
Right. So therefore, you understand that there's a possibility that you could be this child's father?
Possible.
A possibility. Ms. White, how did you see the nature of the relationship with Mr. Miles?
It was just entertainment.
When you say entertainment, what do you, I mean, it's not like it's a movie.
No, because William not around, you know, he had stuff for me to do.
You ain't
We was
want
on the
me
ice cream
around.
truck, you know,
Run
we
and tell
kicking
that
it.
part up.
You know, we go to the house, party, do whatever. And, you know, he was somebody to have fun with.
While you're telling Mr. Flowers he's the father, did you ever tell Mr. Miles he was the father too?
No.
Use a lot.
Mr. Miles?
No, I
You
really
are
didn't.
a lot.
I really
What
did not.
did she tell you, Mr. Miles?
Right.
She had called me. We talked a little bit, and then she come talking about, yeah, it's possibly that Major could be your child. And I'm
So
like,
she told you?
Yeah. She told me that. And then I had told her, because really, actually, Your Honor, I got 8 kids, okay? All my kids look just like me, or they got some type of features. You see the baby?
That's your baby.
Do you see that baby in me? Bro, that is not my baby.
That's your baby.
That's not my baby. Look at that
That's your
baby.
baby.
He has no features,
And
no
so
nothing.
at the point you saw him and you didn't see your features, then what did you tell Miss White?
I didn't tell her at the time. I just said in my head, like, wow, this is not my child. You know what I mean?
Have you done anything for the child after you met the child? Did you try to help?
All I had bought the baby was a bag of diapers, and that's it. Normally, she got money. I don't even know why she even asked me for it, but it's $500 from where we at to do a DNA test. Now, if she would have came and said, let's go half, I would have did that. We would have worked that. But I'm looking at the baby and putting out $500 for what? You know what I mean? I could tell he's not mine.
So,
I mean,
you did buy some things for the baby.
I bought just a bag of diapers.
You bought
for the
some
baby.
diapers.
That's
and
it.
you bought those why?
If the baby was mine, I wouldn't want to see the baby without diapers.
So, Mr. Flowers, was she asking you for diapers or anything for the baby as well?
And the whole pregnancy, this is what I was going through, Your Honor. And
What
this-
is that, sir?
The whole
Ron, will you hand that
pregnancy.
to me,
text
please?
messages from her phone.
The whole time he
It's like
texted me asking for sex.
It's like this.
Wasn't about the baby.
You've handed me evidence. These are text messages
Yes, ma'am.
from Ms. White to you.
Yes, ma'am.
And the first one says, LOL, you just don't know. My child got so many men willing to do your part. The next text says, my baby need a pops that's getting money on a daily.
I ain't no drug dealer, so I ain't getting money on the daily, ma'am.
So when I text Mr. Flowers that my baby need a dad that's gonna be there, that's basically what I
No,
meant.
you said getting money on a daily.
That's gonna be there daily, getting money, being there physically,
But what I want you
financially,
to
all that.
understand, listen, before your texts paint you as a woman that's just looking for money in all different directions, because I ain't gonna lie to you, that's kind of what it's
And
looking
not,
like.
It's not.
What
that's
I
not-
want to understand is it was this man you really wanted to be the father, but you knew you had sex with this man as well.
Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Mr. Miles, are you in a relationship?
Yes.
This situation has been affecting this relationship?
Tearing it down. tearing it.
Tell me.
You tore it down.
Well, what it was, I was trying to work it out with my fiance when me and her was still kicking it.
Oh, okay. So while you were still with Ms. White,
I mean, we never had
never
no
was in a relationship.
right, you made that clear.
no,
But
we
while
never.
you were still with her, you were trying to
Rekindle the
mend
flames with
this
his
relationship with your
fiancé.
fiance. And now you all are back together?
Yes,
Her last name is?
Whitfield.
Is Miss Whitfield here in the courtroom today?
Yes, Your Honor.
You are?
Yes.
Ma'am, please stand. Step forward to the podium if you don't mind. I have to say, Ms. Whitfield, you don't look happy. I understand that this has really caused a lot of difficulties in your relationship.
Yes, Your Honor.
You all are planning to get married.
Yes, next February on my birthday.
Please explain how this has affected you and your relationship.
Well, it's been hard. It's hurtful. She's a homewrecker.
I could never be a home wrecker
Yes,
when your
you
home
are.
was already
You knew
wrecked.
about me.
Your
You
home was
knew
already
I-
wrecked.
but
when
you
he
knew
was-
about me.
He was buying my ice cream though.
You knew about
No,
me.
I did not.
You knew about
No,
me.
no, I did not know
You
nothing about you. He
disrespected
just said I
another
wasn't
woman.
together.
If you want to disrespect yourself, that's one thing.
No,
but you
I
also
didn't
disrespected
disrespect
another
you.
woman.
I did not disrespect
Another woman.
you.
You
No, I
knew
did
we
not.
were together. Despite the
No.
situation, you knew we
And
were
he knew
together.
y'all was
Oh,
together too.
he's got
But
his
he
responsibility.
came to
He
me.
needs to
Whitfield,
deal with. Yes, Your Honor.
Let me just ask you, how did you find out about the baby?
A mutual friend of ours, me and Mr. Miles were struggling with our relationship, but we were trying to work on some things, and they felt that I needed to know that possibly that my fiance was a father of Miss White's baby.
And when you found out, you confronted your fiance.
Yes, I confronted him, and he lied. He told me that it wasn't.
And
it
I'm the
wasn't
home
his.
wrecker.
And
You are.
you are.
No, I'm
because you
not.
still knew
No,
about
I'm
me.
not. No, I did not.
Yes,
You still knew
But
about
you
me.
still continue to mess with me,
lying.
and you
You
bought
about her.
Pampers
I
for my
told
And
you.
baby.
he's gonna,
But you
he's
still
taking
bought Pampers for my
responsibility for
baby.
that now.
That's
But
how I
are
knew
you taking
about
responsibility
your
for being a home
boyfriend.
wrecker?
No, I'm not.
No.
Ladies and
He did
gentlemen,
it.
ladies and
No, I'm
gentlemen,
not taking that responsibility.
Let's talk one at a time.
I could
wanna
never be a home
understand
wrecker.
this.
You don't even know who's your baby's
his
daddy.
fault.
You got two men here.
I do
Two
know.
men.
I
One
do
of them's
know,
mine.
baby.
And you can't.
You standing
can't
right
play-
next
you
to him,
can't
boo
beat
boo.
me.
That's the baby daddy.
Then why is my fiance up there
Because
too?
he's just here.
Right.
He's
Because
just
you were
here.
sleeping with him too.
No, he just here so you can know that your man
And
ain't
your
real.
man doesn't even think that he's the
I'm
daddy
just
of
waiting
the
for
baby.
somebody to bring up Major. Because everybody's talking in circles. Everybody got something to say.
Well, I could definitely.
Everybody's
tell you.
finger pointing.
I could
And this
definitely
baby's
tell you.
5 months old, doesn't know who his father is. And the thing about it, you all arguing, but basically got the same testimony. You were sleeping with her, you were sleeping with her.
Pretty much, but I'm the
I
home
only
wrecker.
did it 4 times though. She was with him.
Hold on, Your
I
Honor.
don't know how.
What a fiance.
Mr. Miles, you
we
already
was
know
broke
it
up.
only takes once. Miss Whitfield, did you hear of anything that would indicate which
She
of
didn't
these
know
two
nothing.
men
He kept her in the dark.
is the child's father?
I don't believe he is. I hope he's not.
If he is the father, what is your plan? What do you plan to do?
I don't know.
Support
Right
my
now.
son
No.
and deal with
No,
it.
you
Because
are
it's
that
the-
baby's mother. I'm
Yeah,
not.
but you're the fiance. You're
You
part
are
of
that
him.
baby's
And then he's
mother.
gonna be part of him
Not
too.
hers.
So, Ms. White, you're suing him for $1,846.54 in child care expenses. Am I correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have receipts for any of the items you've purchased on Major's behalf?
Yes, ma'am.
May I see those, please?
Sure.
What do these receipts reflect?
Basically, everything I bought for my baby before he came into the world. Pampers, diapers.
That kind of claim might be right. I
Detergent.
ain't taking care of no baby that ain't mine. Period. It just ain't gonna happen.
So these are receipts for crib, playpen, stroller, clothing.
Yes.
Ms. White, so you're suing for $1,846.54. That's the amount that all of these purchases,
What's she buying? Gucci
all of
and
these
products?
purchases has totaled for 5 months. Well, Mr. Flowers, babies are expensive.
It's very expensive.
They are expensive. So listen. At the end of the day, he will not owe the child anything if he's not Major's biological father. So I will have to wait to rule on your suit after we have the DNA results. Are we clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Miss Whitfield, will you go through with the marriage if, in fact, Major is found to be your fiance, Mr. Miles' biological child?
It's not about the baby, it's about he wasn't truthful with me at the time.
But your wedding is planned.
Right.
Our wedding is planned for
But you don't know if you will go through with it, depending on the result. Thank you so much for your testimony. You may be seated.
Thank you.
Thank you. I think I'm ready for the results. Jerome?
It might be Bin Laden's baby.
These results were prepared by DNA Diagnostics, and they read as follows. Mr. Flowers.
Thank you, Jesus.
Yeah, you're
I
right.
knew
Thank
that.
you, Jesus.
I already knew that.
That's cool.
Ms. Whitfield and Mr. Miles, I know you are relieved.
Big relief.
But Ms. White and Mr. Flowers, you all have some cooperation to work on. But I do think, Mr. Flowers, I think you'll be there.
Yeah,
I do. So you came in with receipts totaling $1,846.54.
Yes.
Am I correct?
Yes.
Therefore, since it's been determined that Mr. Flowers is, in fact, Major's biological father, you are responsible for half of that amount, $923.27.
I sure can.
Ms. Foster, you claim you and your ex-boyfriend planned your pregnancy only to have him abandon you and deny paternity. You are here to prove that he is your daughter, Jakia's biological father. You want him to step up and take care of his daughter. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Jackson, you say Ms. Foster cheated on you multiple times during your relationship, and there is no way you are Jakia's father. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Foster, tell us, why do you need to open your case?
I'm opening this case today because, Your Honor, I have a 1-year-old child who we plan on having. She looks like him.
Beautiful.
She acts like him. He doesn't step up to nothing. I mean, he's posted pictures on social media.
That's not my baby.
He just
it can't.
gives me nothing.
She don't even post the baby on social media.
So you admit you haven't been stepping up. I'm not talking about social media. I'm talking about real parenting.
I can't say I admitted to anything because I always say I'll do this and I'll do that.
How did this relationship even start?
Ma'am, Your Honor, this relationship started through social media. We found each other through Facebook.
Social media, I should have known. No wonder we talking about social media. Okay, go ahead.
We found each other through social media, so we had a mutual friend. They vouched for him, said he was a good person, so we jumped into a relationship. I had my first child, and he did come bring us to his mother's house, but he was claiming my first child knowing she wasn't his baby, but then when we planned a baby, he doesn't deny this child at all.
Wait. I want to understand this. So this first baby was not his biological child.
Correct.
But he took you home to his mother like, look at my girlfriend and our baby.
Correct.
Then what happens?
In the midst of us staying together, he told me I was going to be his baby's mother because I'm the best mother in the world. That's why he said it.
Actually.
Facts.
No.
Facts, Your Honor.
No.
I am the best mother in the world, and he can't say anything because he hasn't even stepped up to be even a stepdad.
But the man that she had dropping her off at my house, claiming was her brother, was the dude she was sleeping with.
Correct, Your Honor. It definitely was.
Basically what the story was, she already came to my house pregnant by her so-called brother, you feel me? And it was like, I mentioned it to her, you feel me? She used me for a place to stay.
I can't come nowhere pregnant if I just had a baby and it's January and I wasn't pregnant.
So wait, you're in this relationship. No, wait a minute. You're in a relationship living at his mother's house.
With him, yes.
He thinks you all are boyfriend and girlfriend.
No, Your Honor, he doesn't think. He had a whole nother girlfriend out of town. He wanted to play house here and there and have us in a polygamous relationship, which he don't got it like that.
Actually, I wasn't playing house.
Actually, he was.
Then, at some point, you found out you're pregnant again.
Yes, Your Honor, after he left out of town again.
So what happened?
I was talking in a relationship with him, and when I found out he was in a relationship with the other female, I went to go continue doing me with the Marquise gentleman that could be the alleged father as well. I was sleeping with both guys, and I mean, you had 2 girlfriends, well, I can't have 2
No,
boyfriends.
I call.
Oh, and you said it's my brother.
Sure did. Yes, sure.
Right. Which I used to call him my friend, but
Well,
first they denying it. I'm like, you know what I'm saying, kick him out.
Wait, so you think you in a relationship, but she's sleeping with your friend?
Yes, at
no,
my
Your
mama's
Honor.
house.
No, Your Honor. We
Yes,
were not
you were.
together when he left. We were not together.
But you still in my
after
mama's house
February
when I
21st.
left, though. You feel me?
That's pointless. I mean, that matters nothing to me.
How many times I
mean,
was like,
you left,
you know,
you
kick
brought
her
me
out.
her, you left
But
to
her
go
and my
be with
mama
somebody
get back
else.
cool for
Me
some
and my
reason.
baby stayed. That's just what it was.
So, Miss Foster, I want you to take me to the day you found out you were pregnant.
I fell to the floor. I did 3 rolls around the floor in the doctor's office because I wasn't having no kids if I'm finna be a single mother to 2 children by myself. I'm 20. It's not happening. So, at that point, I told Marquise because Marquise was there. Physically, he was gone out of sight, wasn't worried about him.
Marquise is the brother
Yeah.
who wasn't a brother.
Yeah, the brother who wasn't a brother.
Okay.
Yes, Your Honor. So I told him, I'm pregnant. You could be the father. It's out of you and Sean. Off back. I told them. Slept with y'all around the same time in the same week.
She never said that.
When did you tell Mr. Jackson?
A month later.
So you waited a whole month?
Because we weren't speaking.
No, we was
After he
already
left
in the house.
to Chicago,
So,
we were not
Mr. Jackson,
Yes.
do you remember when she told you
The baby that Kaya, that she was pregnant with, the man Marquise was already in the phone talking about that was his child. She came to my house pregnant. I didn't hear from her after I came to Chicago until she had the baby. She was 6 months when I first heard about her.
Oh,
You know?
look at that. Miss Foster, I do have to ask you this.
Okay.
If you know you're sleeping with 2 guys, why are you just bringing Mr. Jackson to court?
I went to the doctor's office. They gave me the conception calendar. I got pregnant February 21st. That's the same day you left. So that week and that week before, I had a menstrual period. We're sleeping together the entire time. While I'm on in the shower every night, every day, 3 times a day, lunch,
We
breakfast,
was only
and dinner,
together
and
for
I was
2
the
weeks.
third.
What are you talking? We
2
was
weeks
together
is
for 2 weeks, bro.
7 days to get pregnant, baby.
Well,
You not shooting blanks, you
I'm
shooting.
not the only one that's shooting her.
Okay, so
Right,
my
alright,
conception day said February 21st is when you were fertilized. You were still there. So.
But didn't you also admit you were having sex with both guys? Because if he could have 2 girlfriends, you could have 2 boyfriends?
By me going to medical school, I kind of know what I'm talking about as far as the female productive system.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Oh,
Yes, ma'am.
okay.
Yes,
I
ma'am.
wish you would have known so much about what you was talking about that you would have known who your child's father was.
I mean, I
okay.
would've, but
So,
I
but
mean,
go ahead. But go
it
ahead,
is what
honey.
it is.
Go ahead. School us. School
girlfriends,
School us. School
boyfriends.
us. You told me you had 2 boyfriends because he had 2 girlfriends. And you was sleeping with them at the same time. What I'm asking is, were you having a sexual relationship with the other guy at the same time you were having it with Mr. Jackson?
Not the exact same time. No, Your Honor, I was not.
So it is your testimony that during the window of conception, you only slept with Mr. Jackson?
Yes, Your Honor.
Your Honor, this is not right.
Yes,
But
Your
you
Honor.
say that's not true.
That's not right.
Mr. Jackson, I want to hear from you.
Me too.
Ja'Kiah's 15 months old.
Right.
What kind of relationship do you have with her?
None.
Because I don't talk to her through the phone.
Lies.
Man, you don't even click. We get on the phone and argue, me, you, and my girl every time. You feel me? So what's the point of keep calling her? Me and my girl got.
So is that the long way of saying you don't even spend no time with her?
I'm like 4 hours away. I asked her, you feel me? I can go and get Ja'Kiah. Oh no, you're not bringing her up there. Woo woo. My girl ain't got nothing to do with that.
This girl of
If
his.
this my daughter, you feel me? Then why can't I be around her?
So your
Who
thing-
even said I
your
have to come
point
back to
is,
Chicago
I've
with the
tried,
baby?
but she doesn't want the baby around my new girl.
Basically.
So we haven't been able to establish
Basically.
a relationship.
They on the phone, best friends. Then the next day,
So
she
you
on the
have
bathroom.
never seen this baby in person?
No.
In your life?
No.
Never hugged her, never, nothing.
Nothing. Not yet. Nothing.
15 months? This is the part that drives me crazy. Everybody know how to meet halfway to make a baby, but don't know how to meet halfway to come see the baby and establish a relationship with a parent.
None of my family know about the baby.
No, that's not my
Like-
point. That's not my point. This happens too often. Everybody knows how to get together to make the baby. Where we gonna meet up? Where we gonna have sex? Where we gonna... No, don't talk when I'm talking. You all made all the plans in the world when it was time to get to the good part, making the baby. This is my baby, it ain't your baby, moved her into the house, you got sex right under your roof. Y'all doing all that. Then I ask a question, why in 15 months, 15, y'all couldn't come together to figure out how does he meet the baby you say is his? Why haven't you said to yourself, girlfriend, I love you to death, but I got a beautiful little baby girl over here, and I'm supposed to be the daddy. I got to go make a way and meet this girl halfway and see my child.
Yeah.
Why is that not possible?
I been said we can meet. You feel me? I did.
But
she
you're
said
saying
she was gonna
she
go
won't
buy
do
a
it.
car. She said she was gonna buy a car. We can meet halfway. Next thing you know, her excuse was her friend stole all her money.
So it's your testimony. You make a plan, but then Miss Foster don't show up.
I made a plan because I have to go and get my little brother from St. Louis. So
Your
it was
Honor.
just like that.
Okay, look, Your Honor, exactly why he said that. He just, like a month ago, came down to St. Louis to go pick up his brother. His girlfriend texted my phone. We would like to see Kaya. I said, that's fine. You guys cannot take her out, but you guys can meet her. I waited at my house for a whole weekend for them. No show. Oh, Sean's getting ready to bring her some diapers. No show. But I'm communicating with your girlfriend because you won't talk to me. Okay, cool. But anyways, Your Honor.
Wait. So I want to give him a chance to respond because it sounds like to me you had the opportunity to see this baby.
First of all, we had this conversation.
Why didn't you
Whatever
go?
my girlfriend said to her, I ain't know nothing about
Why
that.
didn't you go?
I didn't know nothing about this. I don't know where she at. You feel me?
Oh,
She
so
got
you're
a whole...
saying your girlfriend and her are talking, but you ain't in this.
That's what I'm saying. I don't be on the phone talking to them.
Okay. I'm starting to get it.
Get it.
I am.
What you get, Your Honor?
Your girlfriend is not your advocate. She doesn't have to be that.
She
You
acts
should
like it.
already have Jakaya on your mind if this is a possibility that this child is yours. But I see what's happening here. Just like I told you before, both of you all, y'all can talk. And I mean, look, it's entertaining. The problem is, a baby's life ain't no show.
Okay.
It's a real life. And I'm looking at you, Miss Foster, and every time the picture goes up, I see you. I know you love your baby.
With everything in my heart.
And I know you've been through a lot, so I can see a lot of times when you're talking and you're fighting and you're feisty, it comes from a place of having to protect yourself.
My children.
And your children. And I know you don't want this cycle repeated for your children.
I'm a strong woman myself, so I really don't need a man to do anything for me or my children. However, it's not fair to her to grow up with only one parent in the household and she has two. I didn't make her by myself. We made her together. So therefore, step up. I don't care what you got going in your life because she asked to be here. We asked for her to be here and it's not fair. I grew up in foster care. He did too, so we both know exactly how it is. It's not fair to her, and I'm not gonna keep accepting it at all. I mean, when this test come back saying he's the father, he's going to step up.
So did you grow up without your father?
I grew up without my mother and father, both. So, I mean, I'm not too soft when it comes to stuff like this because I raised myself since I was 12, and I did a really good job at it, and I'm doing a very good job at being a mother.
Yeah.
I need help.
Yes. It's okay. Now that's it. That's the real Miss Foster. Tell the truth.
I used to have a pride thing where I didn't like asking for help. It's just time.
And that was important for you to be honest about.
Yes, Your Honor.
And I'm looking at you and I can see in your eyes how strong you're trying to be and how strong you have to be a mother. So, Mr. Jackson, do you plan to step up if Jakaya is your biological child?
Yes.
And that's why we're here, because we want better for these children. Right?
Yes,
Your Honor. Jerome, I'm ready for the results. Thank you.
You're welcome.
These results were prepared by DNA Diagnostics, and they read as follows. In the case of Foster versus Jackson. When it comes to Jakaya, it has been determined by this court. Mr. Jackson, you are not the father. What's funny?
I heard that, it was kind of like, ooh, that's why I laughed.
You took us to school, let me take you there. You just performing now? Like I said, you want your baby to be a stage show? That's on you. Keep performing. But if you're gonna be a mother to a real human being and a beautiful little girl like that, sometimes you just gotta say, like, you know what, ain't no shame in my game no more. I did what I did when I did it. And now I do need to think about who my child's father really is. I mean, and look at me when I'm talking to you, Miss Foster. That's okay to do. Nobody lives a perfect life, and you have been through a lot. And that's why I'm spending this much time with you. You need a woman in your life to say to you, you are worth it. There's not an experience you've been through. There is not an obstacle. There is not a feeling of an abandonment or less than or anything in this world that makes you any less worth it. Mm-hmm. Limitless possibilities for your life. You see me?
I see you.
You grew up in foster care, still there are limitless possibilities for your life. You don't have your daddy, there are still limitless possibilities for your life. You got it wrong and you said Mr. Jackson is the father of your child, but he ain't. There's still limitless possibilities for your life. You don't know really who's the father of your child, there are still limitless possibilities for your life. You can't take them away. So walk in it, live it, own it, be it. You see it?
I see it.
You see me?
I see you.
I see you.